Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to hop on here and talk about charting irregular cycles because it is a question I receive all the time. Ladies want to know if they can still chart their cycles and use FEMME if they have an irregular cycle. And my biggest takeaway I want everyone with an irregular cycle to take away from this lesson, from this video, is that you should be charting your cycles if you have irregular cycles, because it is only gonna do more good for you in figuring out what's going on with your body. So charting is only gonna provide you with further insight into your body and what's going on, and that is something that every single female should want. You know, if you have irregular cycles, charting your cycles will show you, are you ovulating regularly? Do you have a cervical fluid pattern? Things like that. It's only gonna give you more insight, and the biggest benefit I think from this is to kind of see what's going on with your period, and then if need be, you can take that into a medical professional and say, this is all the information I have, and that's only gonna help them figure out why you're having irregularities in your cycle. There is this belief out there that if you have irregular cycles, you can't chart your cycles, you can't use FEMME, and you have to go on hormonal birth control to regulate your cycles and give you a consistent period. But as I've said time and time again, hormonal birth control most of the times is just masking the issues that are really at play, and it's not healing anything that's going on. While not every female out there wants to have a child someday, which is perfectly okay if you don't want to have a child. But for a lot of us, we see children in our future. And so if you do have irregular cycles and you want to have children someday, worrying about your irregular cycles is something you need to do now, not just when you decide, hey, I want to get pregnant. And this isn't even to mention this belief I have that charting our cycles and knowing our fertility is something that every female should possess from the time of puberty until the time they go through menopause. It is this innate ability that we all possess, we just need to learn about. Charting my cycle is so much more than just preventing pregnancy. It is a monthly update, a peek into my body, a healthy reminder of taking a look back on the month and saying, you know, Victoria, did you put enough good nutritious food in your body? Did you stay hydrated? Did you find movement and exercise in your day-to-day routine? Things like that. It is a monthly check-in that I so much appreciate. And for a lot of ladies with irregular cycles, wouldn't you want to dig in and figure out what's going on with your cycle and why you're having those irregularities? You know, what's going on in your body, instead of just kind of pulling a rug over it and being like, okay, I'll deal with that later when I need to deal with it, or I'm never gonna deal with it. I think it's so important to look at this like, this is your health. There's something going on and there's something calling out for attention that needs to be solved. For new moms out there who are breastfeeding, cervical fluid is a great indicator of returning fertility. If you have PCOS, you may be experiencing false peaks and patchy cervical fluid patterns without actually ovulating, but by tracking both of your fertility signs, you'll be able to know when you've ovulated and if you've ovulated, which are two very important things. And do not expect yourself to be perfect at charting straight away. I tell girls with regular cycles to give themselves 3 months to learn it, to get comfortable with it, and to start to see their own unique fertility pattern. So obviously if you have irregular cycles, you're gonna give yourself a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more flex and lenience in it. One of the things that I've discovered in the past year that has been a game changer, and I think is perfect for anyone that doesn't want to be on hormonal birth control but isn't quite ready to trust their own body and their own ability to chart, are fertility monitors such as the Lady Comp or Daysy. If you just want a nice thermometer that is made for charting, a great one is Wink, which automatically syncs to the Kandara app, I believe, and I've heard great things about that. Okay, charting is not only for girls with perfect cycles, because no one really has a perfect cycle. Our cycles within one person, my cycle fluctuates month to month. It is never exactly the same. I never have, you know, the same fluid pattern, temperature pattern, that sort of things. Some months my cycle can be all over the place. Other months it's quote unquote perfect, but usually not. I think there is this misconception that you can only chart if you have a perfect 28-day cycle and ovulate on day 14. But if you have watched any of my other videos, that is completely false. If you don't want to base charting, you don't want to base your cycle on the number of days, because that would be called the rhythm method. And as I've said before, the rhythm method is an archaic form of charting that is not relevant anymore. The rhythm method is based on the number of days in your cycle. But today, charting is based on a foundation of basal body temperature and cervical fluid. It has nothing to do with the number of days in your cycle. So we need to let go of this misconception that you have to have perfect 28-day cycles, because most women do not have them. I charted my cycle by myself, first with paper charts, then with a couple different apps for 2.5 years with great success. And only recently, within the last 6 months, have I added in the Daysy fertility monitor, which I was skeptical at first because I was like, I don't know if I really need this. Does this actually work? How does this work? But I have fallen in love with it. I think it is a great tool for those girls out there that are ready to ditch the pill but aren't ready to rely on charting themselves. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. That button's down below, as well as in my description box. I have all my links to my social media, website, that sort of stuff, and all the links to my 2 courses and my one-on-one coaching if you're interested. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.